Hi, my name is Saka, and this is Arisan. Arisan presented about Iran on July 9th, and a lot of people couldn't join that presentation. So we decided to make this video to make sure everyone can check this out. Yeah, so Arisan, よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
When I think of Iran, the first thing that comes to my mind is deserts. So there are many desert and camels in Iran.
Actually, this is a very good question. Unfortunately, many people around the world, they have this incorrect image about my country, as you pointed out, about desert riding camels and so on. And in reality, actually, Iran is one of the most developed countries in the Middle East. And for example, Iran's capital, Tehran, is a very big city with many modern buildings and shopping malls. And we even have a very tall tower called by the name of Milad Tower. So Iran is a very fairly developed city. Maybe 100 years ago we used camel, but today it's like any other cities. And regarding your point about the desert, yes, we have lots of deserts in Iran, that's true, but we also have many beautiful forests, seas, mountains, volcanoes, coral reefs, and etc. And in my opinion, Iran has a complete package of different ecosystems and environments. And in this sense, Iran is a very rich country.
In Japan, it rains a lot. So the main dish is rice. But in Iran, do you eat rice a lot too?
Yes. In Iran, we eat a lot of rice. So typically, we always have rice or bread with our meals. So this is a must. Like sometimes we even have both rice and meals, rice and bread. But in our cooking, we usually use lamb, different types of herbs and vegetables, and different types of beans, such as lentils, chickpeas, navy beans, red beans, and etc. And in a typical Iranian food, you will definitely find some of these ingredients. So we have this food made of these ingredients with rice or bread. And just one interesting fact that to cook an Iranian food, you not only need to have a skill, but you need to have a lot of time and patience, because in general, cooking Iranian food is a very time-consuming process. And just adding to another point is that we Iranian love fruits, and we have great variety of fruits that we can grow in my country. And we eat lots of fruits regularly on a daily basis.
So I'm interested in sports too, but are there any famous sports in Iran?
Yes, like Iranian love, we love football, and we are very passionate about football. And I think our football team is very strong, at least if we compare it with other Asian countries. So our most favorite sport is football, but in general, I think that Iranian, they are good in strength sports like wrestling, weightlifting, bodybuilding, or judo, or this kind of sports. And also in these recent years, our volleyball team is performing very well in international level, and we are very proud about our volleyball team.
I didn't know about volleyball. I should check it out the next time I see volleyball on TV.
Yes, I think recently we are winning we are winning against Japan and other Asian countries. Now we are competing with other strong European countries, Brazil, or we are getting very strong these recent years.
So as you told me, there are a lot of nature, like mountains and oceans and deserts. So are there any touristic places that you recommend visiting?
Yes, we have so many touristic places, either like natural, like mountain, or like historical places. But if I want to recommend like one touristic place, I think that our most famous touristic place is a place called Persepolis, which is also included in World Heritage List. Basically, Persepolis is the name of a city that existed around 2,500 years ago, and it was a ceremonial capital of Iran at that time. And today we can see the remaining of the palaces that existed in that ancient city of Persepolis. And I definitely recommend everyone to visit that touristic site. I went there, I went there once, and it was so magnificent. And if you go there, you will get surprised because you can actually feel a very ancient history there.
So there are many touristic places in Iran.
Yes, we have so many. It's very difficult to choose just one, but I think like many Iranian agree that our most famous touristic place is Persepolis.
To your story about the touristic places and the food in Iran, it made me want to visit Iran, but isn't it dangerous to visit Iran?
Okay, that's also an important question. Yeah, unfortunately, the way that the media around the world portrays my country, it's far from reality. Like, they manipulate the news and feed these news to the people around the world, and because of that, some people they may think that there are civil wars going on in my country, which is obviously not true. And as an Iranian, I can assure that Iran is a very safe country. And I think all of the tourists who have traveled to my country, they agree on this with me, that Iran is very safe. And also my Japanese friend who have traveled to Iran before, they told me that Iran was one of their most favorite country that they have ever traveled, and they loved Iran and they really enjoyed their time in Iran, and they want to travel again. Yeah, so definitely it's very safe, and I recommend everyone to visit my country.
Oh, I would love to visit Iran. It makes me really want to visit there.
Yeah, and thank you so much for doing this interview. So the people who missed the OUISA, now they have this short video and know a little bit about my country. That's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.